going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, August 5th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. In pretty much every sport, speed and momentum are the two things that play a big role in swinging the win-loss pendulum, because once you get those two things working in your favor, you start to see the magic happen. And if you go back and look at what Nick Walker's done over the last 2 years, you can make a solid argument for him having more momentum than anyone in this year's open lineup, not named Big Ramy. As usual, Nick's been speeding down the track like a runaway freight train through his early phase of his Olympia prep, which is already right on schedule according to our sources close to Nick's camp. With this being the first time in his pro career that he hasn't competed at all during the regular season, you would imagine that it gives him some sort of advantage in the sense that he's had plenty of time to plan everything out in detail in a way that he hasn't had in the last few seasons. He's said on the record a handful of times that he believes he has what it takes to win the Olympia title this year. And if he can build up enough speed and momentum over the next 4 months, he might wind up making good on his promise. We know exactly what we will bring this year for the Olympia. And just in case you can't tell from the video, that quote came directly from Kamal Elgargni. And when you consider the season that he's had thus far, it makes these words feel like they even have more weight. For all intents and purposes, Kamal's been one of the biggest storylines of the summer. And the fact that he continues to look like he could step on a stage at any time, in any division, on any night, 4 months out from the biggest event of the year at 51 years old, is still hard to wrap your head around. The top of the 212 division is as competitive as it's ever been. Kamal being at the level he's at is a big part of the reason why. So when he says that he knows exactly what he's bringing to the Olympia stage this year, that might as well be money in the bank, because he's proven time and again that he knows how to deliver when the stakes are at their highest. We have a moment of honesty here. Pretty much down to a man. If you ask any bodybuilder whether or not they grew into their last show, 9 times out of 10 the answer will always be yes. But here's the thing, if that were actually true, don't you think we'd have more guys walking around who look like Tonio Burton? According to sources inside Tonio's camp right now, he's about 6 weeks out from his next show, which will be the Legion Sports Festival. And they're saying that he's up 10 pounds in stage weight and leaner than he was to start the season. One of the interesting things to note about Tonio heading into the show is that he actually competed in the Open at the Legions last year as well, when he was only a few days removed from stepping off a stage at the 212 Olympia. But now that he's fully committed to being on the Open bodybuilder stage, this version of Tonio is like night and day compared to what we saw a year ago. So if he can keep this thing going for another 6 weeks, who's to say that he doesn't bring it all full circle and walk out of that building with a big win? According to the law of attraction, if you speak something into existence and you believe it enough, eventually the universe will manifest it into your life and make it true. And if you've spent any time listening to Erin Banks on interviews and podcasts lately, then you know that he absolutely, positively, 100% believes that he is going to win the Men's Physique Olympia title this year, which means that the universe has officially been put on notice. At this point, I think it goes without saying that EB is clearly the #1 threat to Brandon Hendrickson this year. And if what he did back at the Arnold was only an appetizer, you know that whatever he's about to serve up for the main course is going to be 5 stars all the way across the board. Up to this point, his trajectory is almost unlike anything that we've ever seen in the division. And if that arrow keeps trending up, he won't need the universe to intervene, because he might breathe this thing into existence on the strength of his momentum alone. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.